and Clint Eastwood.
In the mid-1980s, a new challenger roared onto the scene. Tim Richmond had Magnum PI looks and led a Miami Vice lifestyle. He arrived in NASCAR with a love of the spotlight and a lust for life.
You had all the camera time. No, you gotta turn around here. Hold still.
Richmond and Dale Earnhardt were exact opposites in every way but one. They were born racers who raced to win.
Yes, we could. Tim Richmond moving up on the inside. A surprise with Earnhardt with the new left side tires, but Richmond making a move.
Here they are going to turn one. The crowd on their feet all the way around.
One thing Dale Earnhardt and Tim Richmond will do is give the fans their money's worth.
Here he is going out into first place. And back from Earnhardt.
When you got the two of them together on the track, it was like electricity. They loved to race each other, run 10 laps door to door, beating on each other.
The way that him and Dad raced each other, you would think that they were bitter enemies, and they would get out of the car and laugh about it.
Dale, when he got out of the car, I think he was going back to the farm, and he went down kind of undercover, and Richmond he's everywhere from Hollywood to New York having a big time. And he lived on a boat in Fort Lauderdale, had a condo in New York. Now that would fit right in today, but it didn't work too good in '86.
I could just as well live in a tent someplace, but I'd rather, if I had the money, to live on some yacht someplace and have maybe a Learjet.
When Tim came along, he was able to take us to that young Hollywood kind of a crowd.
He was Hollywood. He was Tim. We call him Hollywood.
Now, Hollywood Tim Richmond, this is a real change for you. What are you trying to prove?
I'm trying to prove that I was put on this earth to have fun, to succeed at the fun department.
To have fun and was going to have fun. What do they call them? Chick magnets. Tim Richmond was a chick magnet. Somehow the Rebel role found him, because he was different. When they did the movie Days of Thunder, Tom Cruise came to our shop. He said, "Tell me about Tim Richmond." I'm actually portraying Tim Richmond without saying it in the movie. We can talk to you all day, but you're going to have a hard time portraying him. He was a natural with a race car. He was fearless, absolutely fearless.
And here's a pass again. This is live now. Down to the bottom of the racetrack, and you can see Richard nod as all of a sudden Richmond out of turn 2.
I think he needled them. He needled some of them. I mean, there's a hat, it looks like Richard Petty's. I mean, he was doing that to needle Petty a little bit.
He could drive a race car also. Yeah. He was a heck of a race car driver. So the biggest difference between him and myself, Tim just went overboard with it. Tim just liked the showboat.
Tim maybe, in a sense, kind of cast aside the John Waynes and the the Clint Eastwoods of motorsports.
Closing up off Earnhardt's car. There is Tim Richmond.
Stickler nose right up on the back bumper.
Even the Intimidator was intimidated.
Side by side on the outside, number 25 Richmond. On the inside it is Earnhardt. Back they go to turn number 1. Let's see who's going to give here. Somebody will have to. Still side by side, Richmond takes first.
The 1986 Winston Cup Stock Car Championship season is over. The man who is champion, Dale Earnhardt. Its most successful driver is Tim Richmond. This is the guy who won more races this year than anybody else.
I would talk to him on the phone and I'd say, well, Tim, you know, at least you came in. And he says, no, it doesn't count unless you come in first.
I want to come back and finish first and feel what it's like. Earnhardt's in a real good mood this week, and it must be due to that, and it's a nice change in him, you know. I can't wait for next year, 87.
All right.
The main thing is I want to thank Dale Earnhardt and all the competitors for being as tough as they are, because if they weren't that tough, this wouldn't be that special, and it really is. Thank you very much.
Mom and he and I had gone to the banquet in New York in 1986. It's like people that talk about they have a special feeling when someone dies. Something's wrong with Tim. I'm so worried.
You've heard the rumors as well as we have. They're wide-ranging, and the bottom line is you had pneumonia and you were getting close to a relapse.
That is the truth there.
We don't want to take any chances at all of him having a relapse. The doctors say this flu that's going around and this kind of pneumonia, if you come back too quick, you could have a relapse. So, you know, I knew he was sick, but I didn't know what he was sick from.
Failing health forced Richmond to sit out the first part of the 1987 season. In his absence, Earnhardt had an open road to championship number 3.
There is the leader, Dale Earnhardt, as he continues to make his way around, having led every lap since the beginning of the race.
Dale Earnhardt is going to win the Trans-South 500, his second win of 1987.
The only guy to have led every race on the circuit so far in 1987, and he really looks tough today.
And Earnhardt will set a record, 4 consecutive wins. 6 wins in the first 8 starts.
At the start of the year before Daytona, someone would have told you that you would win 6 out of the first 8 Winston Cup events. What would you have told them? It's possible.
Yeah, it's hard to say this, but you know, Earnhardt, he's doing well, very well, too well, and I'd like to stop him from it.
We're going to bring Tim back at a slow pace and make sure we don't overdo it.
When he went back in 87, he was going to race with everything he had to leave something memorable. Maybe it was something he had to do for himself.
To the line, across for the checkers, Tim Richmond victorious, back from the dead. Richmond on the comeback trail, double pneumonia, last winter. The question was, would he ever race again? And here he is charging relentlessly back through the field.
No one's going to touch Tim Richmond as he looks for the checkers. Tim Richmond wins.
It was happy, but it was also sad because you knew that at some point he wasn't going to be with us anymore.
Heartburn.
Got any more, Jake?
He cut his toe, and I was with him, and I was taking gauze and whatever to do it, and he grabbed my hand, and he says, "Don't you touch my blood."
Tim Richmond was unable to finish the 1987 season.